Good morning, everybody. My name is Lisa Marklew and I look after the arts and vocational courses here at WM College. I look after the performing arts and visual arts here, and I have to say I've been here for 3 years and we have a great atmosphere here. We have the performing arts learners have a concert at the end of each term, which is very well attended, and it really shows off the skills our learners have developed across the courses for the term, and it gives them an opportunity to have an experience of performing to an audience. So people are building their confidence and learning skills and getting ready to potentially work in the industry. We're starting to welcome our learners back now, and we've still got places on most of our courses, but you can take a look at our website, and I'm going to hand over to Martin in a minute, who manages this area, to talk you through a little bit more. Just to let you know that we have been preparing for a month at least the college to ensure that we are COVID safe. We have put lots of processes in progress, particularly with the performing arts areas, and Martin will talk to you about some of those measures as he's going through his courses. So I'm going to hand over to Martin. We're just going to swap seats now, and he can tell you a little bit more about his courses.
Hi everyone. Welcome to Working Men's College. My name's Martin Bottomley. I'm the Curriculum Manager for Performing Arts. I'm going to take you through, I hope, a reasonably comprehensive explanation of our course offer at the college at this present time, and I'll also explain, hopefully, the potential options you might have to progress, the various measures we're putting in to make our courses COVID safe, and also hopefully be able to answer any questions that you'd like to ask later on in the presentation. If you just look at my left-hand side of the slide, you'll see that there are links to the college. There's our foremost contact number, there's the email to contact our Learner Services Department, and obviously a link to our website. Now, the first thing I'd like to talk about is the benefits of improving your skills. I think the current climate has really demonstrated that the world can be quite an unpredictable place, and I think colleges often are not really thought of as the best environment for us to, get the most out of ourselves and help ourselves achieve. Well, what I would say is, certainly with Working Men's College, it definitely is. I think we have a wide range of courses that actually give you the opportunity to start improving your skill base, whether it be digital skills, whether it's improving your English, your maths, and performing arts certainly contributes to that in a significant way. Now, our courses specifically cover things such as instrumental tuition, music technology, singing, ensembles. We're also running Zumba and salsa, and a lot of other, I suppose, different things that you might consider associated with the performing arts, such as acting and drama. Now, typically, we have a whole range of fees for the courses. Depending on what time of day that you attend a course, you may be paying a slightly different fee, but typically there are concessions for people who may be in receipt of benefits and those on low wages. So please do inquire if you have any doubts or need to ask any questions about the fees or the concessions that are available for the courses. Enrolment typically can be done online. However, you can also come in person to the college to enrol here. However, we do encourage people, obviously in the present climate, to enrol online if at all possible. However, if there's any problems enrolling online, please use the contact details on this slide, and those people at the other end of those contact details, they will support you in your enrolment. The importance of performing arts, and this is how I'd like to kind of explain how performing arts can support your skill base, and not just skills specific to the performing arts, but life skills as well, employment skills. And I like to say that performing arts will allow you to develop confidence, life and work skills, doing something that you enjoy. And I think this is incredibly important. When I said earlier that sometimes colleges are not seen as the best place to develop skills, what I mean by that is sometimes people go and do a course and they don't necessarily think that it is actually vocationally relevant, things like this. Now, I think the important thing is that if you look at a course and you look at it from a holistic perspective, it is incredibly relevant to a whole range of vocations. And with performing arts, I think at the centre of performing arts, we absolutely develop your confidence. And there's nothing really better than having confidence in order to apply for different jobs and believe you can progress in life and actually move forward in a way that's positive and constructive. So I would say that's the biggest asset of performing arts. However, there's a whole variety of areas within performing arts that will contribute to developing your life and work skills, such as digital confidence, etc., etc., etc. Now, a lot of us don't excel at academic subjects. And again, I think this is where performing arts is incredibly important, because it gives you a very practical route to develop a whole range of skills, but also it allows you to also study areas that are traditionally seen as academic. For example, if I'm doing acting and drama, I have to be confident and competent in terms of reading scripts. So obviously, pursuing a career in acting and drama is actually going to help your skills in terms of literacy. Also with music, whether we understand that or not, music requires a lot of maths, although we don't consciously actually realise we're using it. But there's many different ways where traditional academic subjects are completely embedded within the disciplines that we cover in performing arts. So even though you might want to come from a practical perspective, we can certainly help you develop what are seen as the wider academic areas whilst you're studying these overwhelmingly practical subjects. And again, I think the fact we learn in different ways, performing arts absolutely underpins the opportunity to learn in different ways. And I think this is key as well. Many people come to performing arts, whether it be music, whether it be acting and drama, with maybe the hope that they will develop a career as a creative person. It could be a scriptwriter, it could be a composer. However, I think it's really important to understand that the area of performing arts offers many, many technical routes to employment, whether that be stage managing in a theatre, whether that be operating a lighting rig in a theatre or a sound desk, or with music, there's many different jobs, such as working as a stage technician, again working as a sound engineer, working as a studio sound engineer. There are many, many different routes to employment in the performing arts industries, and I think it's really, really important to feel confident that this is something that you can pursue. You don't just have to feel there's a creative option that's available to you. There's many, many technical routes to employment. We offer a variety of courses in acting and drama, and those cater for beginners and those with some experience. The classical monologue is a course that will allow you to explore your acting potential through voice and physical presence, whilst developing your imagination and confidence. This is primarily about developing the confidence to speak to an audience. And obviously this is a great starting point for individuals who want to explore the possibilities that acting and drama can bring to them. The acting and drama course itself covers 3 areas that are essential to develop. So physical presence is actually thinking about how you actually hold your posture, how you actually use your body, etc., etc., etc. How you use your voice. Character development goes further into how you would actually develop character and think about acting with other people. Scene and script work obviously develops this further. And the the course over the year covers each of these areas over a given term to give you a much wider holistic understanding of the experience and skills acting and drama can bring to you. We also run accredited courses that lead to qualifications. And if you look on a website, you'll find under the acting and drama section, you'll find this L1 and L2 acting and drama courses. And the accredited courses ultimately can take you through all the way to higher education courses if you should choose to take that pathway. We also run accredited courses in music, and we run an L1 and L2 in music. And again, these will give learners the opportunity to develop a variety of practical skills that are very, very relevant to the music industry, but also to employment opportunities in general. For example, we're going to focus on study skills, a certain amount of academic skills, but also there'll be a great deal of emphasis on digital skills, and that'll be accompanied by performance skills as well, which ultimately is there to give learners confidence and feel comfortable in their ability to perform in front of people. Now, I suppose the real key to the course is we suggest that the course is aimed at artist development. Now, what this actually means is that we want you to start understanding the skills that you're going to need to be able to develop as an independent artist within the industry. So that's why we use the term artist development. Typically within the music industry, people are expected to understand technology, have to be able to perform, have to be able to build websites. There's a whole variety of skills that you need to succeed these days. And this is, to be honest, is in common with most of the creative industries. You can find these courses in the music technology section on the website. We run a variety of ensembles that are aimed at all musical tastes and abilities. We have a guitar orchestra, which typically is aimed to increase the experience of individuals who've come in and done individual guitar classes, or for people who already have skills on the instrument and actually want to work in conjunction with other pieces. And the class does focus on a variety of pieces ranging from classical to modern pieces. We have blues, pop and jazz ensembles, and obviously these ensembles are about playing modern popular music, really that allow people to sort of discover and be inspired by, you know, the music that they've listened to over the years. The beginners ensemble is for people who've not had experience with ensembles previously. So if you haven't had that opportunity to play with other people, but you feel confident on your instruments, please come along to our beginners ensemble. Instrumental tuition covers a whole variety of different courses that will help your individual development as a musician. The ukulele ensemble is a new course to work in Men's College, and we are providing ukulele because we feel that it's a less intimidating instrument to learn. Many instruments can be quite difficult, and I think historically a lot of people have been put off learning instruments because they don't feel they progress. Well, come and learn ukulele because you'll find very, very quickly that you can progress and start to feel increasing confidence in your development as an instrumentalist. We run Latin percussion classes. It is effectively an ensemble. It covers a variety of instruments such as conga, bongos, clave, etc. And you play as an ensemble, learning Latin and African rhythms. And I think it's more interesting that you learn these rhythms and parts within the context of an ensemble. We have a variety of drum classes, and they tend to be mixed level. So there is a mixture of beginners with people who are more advanced, but the advantage of that is actually that you get the opportunity to learn from your peers, and you have typically a greater, faster development because of that. The courses typically focus on popular styles such as rock and funk. We have a variety of piano classes and guitar classes, Our guitar classes range from classical through to jazz and blues. With piano and keyboards, we have a range of classes that start from beginner and move through to intermediate learners. We also have a variety of singing courses and a choir. Now, the idea of having individual singing courses is that it allows us to focus upon your individual development. Singing is an incredibly personal way of performing. It's much more personal than playing an instrument, and we run a course called, for example, Find Your Own Voice, where our singing teacher actually spends significant time looking at your voice and your potential to cover a variety of popular or classical styles, because we're all quite different, and because of that our voices typically are suitable for potentially one area and not another, and this is part of the development that will help you have if you actually join up with our courses. We cover jazz singing, contemporary musical styles and vocal improvisation. And Find Your Own Voice obviously is the course I've just mentioned. Now the choir is aimed at ensemble singing, and it allows you to add extra vocal skills such as harmonising and also how you would actually interact with other singers. We all have different vocal ranges. For example, female singers are more likely to be sopranos, whereas male singers are more likely to be tenors. And obviously that allows us to mix together and sing in a way that allows us to use our voices to complement each other. And to be honest, it's also great singing with other people. It's one of the best ways of really vitalising yourself, and it's incredibly enjoyable. Music production is another area where we have a variety of courses on offer. We have a couple of beginner courses. Logic X, Music Production for Everyone, is aimed at maybe people who have already existing musical skills, but they're not developed in a digital context. You may be a guitarist and you actually want to know how to record your guitar. You might want to add a vocal to a beat you've created. So Music Production for Everyone is aimed at people who potentially have some musical skills but would like to understand how those existing skills can be translated into a digital context. And Logic X Music Production really focuses upon electronic music production and individuals who'd like to develop their skills in musical styles such as house music, etc., etc. We've also got Logic X Music for Film and Media. This is a more advanced course, but the idea of running this course is to actually show that music is not just a discipline that applies specifically to the music industry. Music is actually one of the, I suppose, fundamental foundations of the media industry these days. Film, game, etc. They all use music in quite a comprehensive way, but the ways we work with music in film and game are actually slightly different to the way that we might produce music for the conventional music industry. So we actually put on a course to actually help people have a better understanding of this and develop their skills in music for media. Finally, we've now started to run a course in Ableton Live, and part of the reason we've added this is Logic, for example, is platform specific. It only runs on Mac computers. However, Ableton Live runs on both Macs and PCs and typically is recognised as an excellent digital performance tool. And so if you want to do performance that doesn't rely on other instrumentalists, you want to be independent, you want to learn how to DJ, Ableton Live is the program for you that will help you develop those skills. We're also running composition and listening skills classes. We also run songwriting classes, and the songwriting classes are aimed at specifically at looking at popular music forms, and there's also a certain amount of music theory within these classes as well. Not heavy music theory, but things like maybe how do you communicate your song to other people? Could it be a chord chart? Very simple notation, for example. Our composing class takes the music theory slightly further and actually is done in the context of working with a computer, a musical keyboard, etc., so that you actually can develop your music theory and your composing skills to a higher level. And finally, our listening skills class is something that every musician really should consider, because listening is absolutely at the heart of what we do as musical performers, certainly, and absolutely in acting and drama as well. But developing our listening skills really, really helps us to feel more confident as musicians. It helps us to interact with other individuals, and also it will also help you to develop your music theory. We're also offering courses in dance and movement. Presently, we're offering Zumba and Salsa. So obviously, Zumba and Salsa are slightly different disciplines, and you'll find these courses on the website under Health and Wellbeing. Zumba primarily is about exercise. However, there's many different types of Zumba. It's not all high impact, dancing around for hours and hours. You can take Zumba in many different contexts, and the class that we're running will obviously cater for the people that sign up to the class. We're also going to be running salsa classes. I think this is a good point to mention some of the steps we're taking in terms of COVID safety, because obviously salsa, part of salsa is close dancing with a partner. Obviously, you want to feel safe in that environment. So our recommendation is that if you're coming to salsa, it's probably better to sign up with somebody within your social bubble, so you feel confident that you are dancing with somebody in the class that you feel safe with, that you understand, you know, their particular situation health-wise, etc., etc. But obviously this is the sort of thing we can answer questions on, and you're welcome to call the college at any time for more information on things such as COVID safety, but I will explain more as we continue. Now, why study at Working Men's College? We do have a team of very experienced tutors who are used to working with such a wide variety of learners. They'll always make you feel welcome, no matter what your experience, whatever your personal circumstances, whatever your needs. So I think that's, you know, one aspect of what we do here that is very, very important. We'll include within our classes, at whatever level we teach you, the development of your digital skills, the development of your research and study skills, and ultimately we will help make you more employable. We see performing arts as a gateway to success, and as I've said before, because it will help you to develop a range of very valuable skills, but also, and I think this is quite fundamental, it will absolutely support your well-being and actually make you feel actually a happier person. It does me, certainly. And we don't pretend that our course is going to propel you to success, but we know that it will help you gain significant confidence and skills to help you make real improvements to your own life. Now, just before we enter into questions, I'm just going to give you a few details about the measures we put in place to make our courses COVID secure. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of maybe misinformation regarding singing, and that actually attending a singing course could put you at greater risk of getting COVID-19. Now, recently, the research has shown that this isn't actually true. There may be a slightly higher risk, but not the significant risk that has been perceived to be happening. If, for example, there were a number of news stories about people going to choirs and this being a hotbed of COVID infection. But anyway, in order to address these questions and worries that people may have, all our singing classes will use a minimum of 2 meters social distancing. They're restricted to a minimum of 8 learners in order to make sure that we can allow you to participate in an area where the maximum distancing can possibly be employed. We're making visors available so that you can use visors while you're performing. We want people to wear masks in class. That's part of our COVID security plan. It's absolutely at the heart of our COVID security plan, along with social distancing. We're providing wipes. We're making sure that all surfaces are cleaned, all equipment is cleaned prior to use. Now, the college wide is also putting these measures in place. We've got a great one-way system that's actually being developed. We're making sure that at any one time there are not too many people in communal areas, in the same way that we're making sure that there aren't too many people in individual classes, in order to make sure social distancing measures are secure. The final thing that, for example, may be of interest to people in ensembles, we've bought covers for microphones that are disposable. So if an individual uses a microphone, we can dispose with the cover, and there aren't risks of, again, microphones, for example, transmitting infection. If there's any other questions that you'd like to ask, please do so. I'm Martin Bottomley, I'm the Curriculum Manager Performing Arts, and it was great having your attention today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martin. Just a couple of questions. What kind of learners do you get on your courses? Are they is this something that people study for fun, or is there quite a career focus to the programmes?
Typically at the moment, I would say a large proportion of our learners come to the college for their wellbeing, and that's their primary focus. However, we do have a number of learners who want to develop their skills, and for example, one thing that I'm doing at the moment is I've put together, I suppose, a progression routes pathway that shows how courses join together and how a number of courses can work together to enhance your employment skills and actually point you towards better opportunities in industry, in further and higher education. So although we do typically have some learners who are career focused, skills focused, the majority of our learners are here for wellbeing. But I think that's because historically the nature of the courses has catered more for individual wellbeing than it necessarily has for career focus. And that's something we've made significant changes to over the last few years, making sure that career focus is there, the emphasis on digital skills, etc., etc.
Thank you. Also, the timing of the classes, are they at various times? Can people come in the evenings and weekends as well as during the day?
We do. We have classes are organised at a variety of times, obviously, to suit a whole variety of individuals. Our singing classes, for example, we have some singing classes that run in the day, we have some that run in the evening. In fact, just about all the instrumental all the classes that we provide, it's possible to attend in a daytime slot or an evening, or alternatively weekend slot. So hopefully just about every discipline that we provide is accessible to the vast majority of people.
Thank you. What about sort of previous experience? Do you take people at various levels?
We do, and we absolutely welcome people who are beginners, because I think, as I've said before, we've got a great set of teachers, and I don't think you couldn't meet a nicer, I suppose, better prepared bunch of teachers, because they have such vast experience with working with a whole range of learners, from people who have no past experience to people who have a variety of experience. And that's why we provide the different courses. For example, in guitar, we cover a variety of disciplines from classical to jazz. You can't join a jazz guitar class without having some previous experience. However, there are a variety of beginner guitar classes that will allow you to develop that experience to progress onto the jazz courses. And then obviously we have ensembles that will allow people to progress to the ensembles once they have that individual instrumental confidence. So if you look on the website and look in the course descriptions, you'll see the suitability of individual courses discussed. But if you're not sure, just give me a call. I'm always available.
Thank you, Martin. The other thing I just wondered is whether or not there's much cross collaboration between your departments, the actors and the musicians and the etc.
I suppose the best example of cross collaboration is the concerts that we hold every term. So typically every term we hold a concert and we get as many of our performers to participate in that concert as possible. And definitely we do collaborate then. But also we kind of cross collaborate in a slightly different way, in that many of our learners who participate in acting and drama also participate in the music classes. And so I think there's also cross collaboration there, because they bring the skills that they've learned in one area into another area. And you kind of get this cross fertilization really amongst the groups because of that. But it's mainly the concerts. However, we would definitely love to extend that cross collaboration, and we've got some ideas I won't mention yet, but we certainly would love to be able to, for example, put on an extravaganza that really show the talents of our students, because sometimes the concerts, we don't have the time in the concerts to really showcase what we can do. So we would be aiming to try and showcase in maybe some slightly different ways in the future.
And also, do you run, short courses so people can just come along and get a feel for the particular area before they commit to something longer?
We do. Historically, we've run taster courses on evenings at weekends, and obviously the present situation has made that slightly more difficult. But please keep looking out at the website, because we always post the information about the taster courses there. It's on our social media, on Instagram, obviously Facebook. And if you sign up for our marketing information, you'll get that information via our marketing team.
Great, thank you, Martin. I think that's the end of all the questions that we've got, but thanks so much for that really interesting presentation. I know that you're taking enrolments now, so if people want to enrol, jump onto the website, all the course information is there. And if they need more information, then to contact you directly at the college. Thanks very much.
Thank you everybody. Bye bye.